Perfect. We've tapered off. All right, everyone, we're going to get started. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I am Tawny Sens, and I'm here with Julie Aravando, and together we are the heads of Create Your Cruise. So thanks for joining us.
Yes, welcome
Julie,
everybody. We want this to be a really interactive webinar. This is a new
we do.
program. I know a lot of people are going to have questions, so please feel free to put all your questions in the question box. There's going to be some math in this, so we're expecting
We're going to
questions.
walk
We're
you through
ready
it.
for it.
We did the math for you, so we just have to walk you through it. But yeah, Q&A us this whole time through. Feel free to put it in, and then at the end, we'll also do a Q&A session. So if you want to actually ask us your questions or talk, you're able to as well. So between Julie and I, we have been on every single Norwegian ship in the fleet. We know it like the back of our hands. We're inside, outside. Julie just got off Aqua. We're getting on Luna in a couple of weeks here. So we are here to answer all your questions and to talk in depth about the new program, which is Free at C Plus. But before we talk Free at C Plus, we should probably talk Free at Sea. So Julie, why don't you fill us in a little bit on the Free at Sea program before I dive into the Free at C Plus?
Right. So Free at Sea has been around for quite a while, so a lot of you may be familiar with it. Basically, Free at Sea is the program that Norwegian has that includes your unlimited beverage package. Keeping in mind that beverage package is soda and alcohol only. There's no specialty coffees, bottled waters, etc. Also, you get 150 minutes of Wi-Fi. You get some complimentary dining nights depending on the length of your sailing, which could be anywhere from 1 to 3 nights of specialty dining. And you get a $50 per port, not per person, per port shore excursion credit. So that's the free at sea that we've had for years and years and years. There has been no changes to it. So that's why it's super exciting that we have a new program because there really wasn't any deviations from free at sea at all.
Correct. So free at sea, you have free, it's basically like adding a little bit of level. You can think of it now as booking with levels. You have a cruise only fare that's going to include a couple of Wi-Fi minutes. It's going to include that shore excursion discount for you. And if you want to add that beverage package and that dining package, they do have some fees, but they're heavily discounted so that it is an incredible value for you. So you have those
Connie,
with
real quick, we have somebody saying there's no sound, so I just want to take a poll. Can everybody hear? If you could just type in the chat box or
Josh and
raise your
Harold. You're
hand.
on here too for tech support. So can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Perfect. Okay, thanks everybody.
Thanks, everyone. All right, make sure your volume's up. Well, I guess they wouldn't hear me say that. Can you type make sure your volume's up in there? All right, so free at sea, you have all of those included for you, and you have that beverage package and that dining package, which do have those fees associated with them. So they're not 100% free for those packages, but they are basically free. You're talking about paying 20 bucks a day for unlimited alcohol and soda, and paying basically what equates to $10 per meal or so on those specialty dining meals. So very great option that you can do cruise only. You can add that free at sea, and now you have free at sea plus, which is going to give you an even more all-inclusive upgraded experience. So free at sea plus, in my opinion, Julie, feel free to disagree with me, but I think it's for those people who just want it all included, and the value built into this package, we're going to break it down, is absolutely incredible. It is the best value you can get if you are a user of some of these benefits. So I would say most of us are anymore. I can't remember the last time I got on a cruise and I was not upgrading my Wi-Fi because we're going to be connected. We want to know what's going on the ship. We want to meet up with our travel companions. All in all, we just have a much smoother, better experience when we have that Wi-Fi. There are some people, and it is totally fine to be that person that wants to 100% disconnect and they don't want to be connected to that Wi-Fi. But if you do, this package is a no-brainer for you, as well as all these other things. So what's included? It is $49.99 per person per day. There is no tax on this. I know we had a question about that before that was sent to us via email. There's no tax on this. It's not a taxable item. So it is a true $49.99 per person per day. And with that, you're going to get unlimited streaming Wi-Fi. So not standard, but the streaming where you can stream videos, you can watch shows, you can go on YouTube, you can go on Netflix, you can go on Instagram, TikTok, whatever you want to do on there. You'll have the daily gratuities, which are $20 per person per day. And anyway, you have unlimited Starbucks. It's one drink per visit, but it's unlimited throughout the day. So you can have as many Starbucks drinks as you like. That includes coffees, that includes their specialty teas, their refreshers. everything they have at the Starbucks on board. It also includes bottled water for you, including premium bottled water in restaurants. So that's going to be like your Aquapano or your Pellegrino. And you're going to have unlimited premium drinks. We'll go over that here in just a minute, as well as unlimited drinks at Great Stirrup Cay if that is on your itinerary, and 50% off additional dining nights. So this package has it all.
And
Ah,
Tony, we have a really good question here, which is super important, I think. For a while, Norwegian did call free at sea more at sea. So, for the people who
yes.
are booked on the more at sea, I understand your confusion. More at sea and free at sea, to be perfectly honest, had very small difference. Like, really, literally, the difference was one dining night. So, if you're booked on a more at sea, that is pretty much the same as free at sea. It is not the free at sea plus, just to verify.
And the more at sea works exactly like the free at sea. So if you have more at sea and you want to upgrade to free at sea plus, you absolutely can for the same price, $49.99 per person per day. But yes, not to be confused, they are not the same thing. So more at sea and free at sea are the same, and Free at C Plus is the upgraded package. And I know someone I see on here, someone used to upgrade and use this package. There was a version of this package before, and this is actually a better version now, but it's always been a good package. So when it had before, what it was, it would give you basically the Starbucks, it would give you the bottled water, and it would give you a couple other amenities. But now it's going to include that unlimited streaming Wi-Fi. So all of these, let's go over what the value of these are. I think it's very important to talk about all the value in this package because for $49.99 per person per day, you're actually getting over $180 per day per person in things. So let's go through the math. Is everybody ready for math? Julie, are there any questions we should go through right now?
No, there's some we'll deal with later, but I do want to just say for me, boy, am I happy not to count 150 minutes because that was so that was
Log in,
no
log out,
fun.
log in. Seriously. So, for those of us that just really need to be connected or need to have that experience with that Wi-Fi, if you were to pay for the streaming Wi-Fi, you are talking about a $29.99 per person per day. So, just to throw this out here for you really quick, if you decide you want streaming Wi-Fi and you're going to pay gratuities, you have already spent $49.99 per person per day. So, if you are buying those two amenities alone and you buy them a la carte, you are going to get Starbucks for free, bottled water for free, premium drinks for free, drinks at the island for free, and 50% off additional dining nights. So this is almost for everybody. It's not for quite everyone, but we're going to get into that a little bit more. So if you buy the streaming Wi-Fi upgrade and you were to pay for that on your own, it would be $30 per day essentially. The standard Wi-Fi upgrade is somewhere between 15 and 20, so it is also adding a lot of value in there. Gratuities, $20 per day for standard rooms, more for suites, but it's just let's factor it in at $20 per day for the sake of easy math. Unlimited Starbucks. If you were to buy that unlimited Starbucks package through Norwegian by itself, it would be about $19.80 per person per day. And if you wanted bottled water, there is no unlimited bottled water package. But let's say you're going to buy 24 bottles for a 7 night cruise. That's going to come out to about $6 a day. And that gives you about three bottles of water per person, 3 bottles of water per day at that package. Pride of America, that's a whole other story because they've switched to a Bureau water system, which is no waste. But that's another conversation. Premium drinks, you actually can only get this as a package again, same as bottled water with free at C plus. But if you were to upgrade per drink, you would be paying anywhere from $5 to $18 per drink, depending on what you're drinking. I didn't even add that as math in here because I just figure we'll just talk about it. But if you were to do drinks at Great Stirrup Cay a la carte, you're talking about $10 to $15 per drink as well. So the dining nights, actually, let's just break down how the dining nights are structured a little bit here, Julie. So you just got off of the Aqua, and you are someone who does a lot of specialty dining. So talk about how this package would work for you with dining nights.
Correct. So we do. I mean, honestly, we go to specialty dining almost every single night. So we get, of course, on a 7 night cruise, you get your three complimentary nights, which you would still get. That doesn't change. So after that, you would be then getting 50% off. So two of the restaurants on the Aqua were $40 per person per visit. That was the local, sorry, not the local, Los Lobos and Anda, and the others were 60. So for all those dining nights, you would get a 50% discount, which would really add up because we're talking about anywhere from a 20 to $30 discount per person.
Well, let's break it down by day. I decided it would be easiest to break this down if you, oh, That's not the right slide. Let's go back one more. Actually, I'm sorry, we're going to go forward to and then we're going to go back. So we're going to go talk about what's included on the alcohol and the beverage side here in just a minute. But for right now, we're going to stick with this math problem. So I did the math for you to figure out on a per day basis what you would spend if you were to add all of these in and you use all of these items. So if we have 1 day of Wi-Fi at $29.99, we have 1 day of Starbucks at $19.80, 1 day of gratuities at $20. If we took the 24 pack of water and divided it per day, it's $6. Let's say you're going to drink 3 pina coladas at Great Stirrup Cay because it's hot and it's tropical and they're delicious. That's going to cost you $45. And if you're going to do an extra night of dining at Cagney's at full price, that would be $60. So if you do not have the package, you're going to spend $180.79 on all of these amenities to use them on a per day basis. If you have free at C plus, you are spending $49.99 plus the 50% dining cost for Cagney's, which is $30. So you are actually going to be spending $79.99 and you're going to save $100.80 per day. So if you are someone like Julie who uses specialty dining every single night, this is what kind of savings you're going to be looking at because I know you use the specialty dining. Your daughter drinks Starbucks. Everybody pays gratuities. Your husband drinks bottled water, and we all drink at the beach. So,
Absolutely.
if you're going to use all these items, this package represents a very, very substantial savings for you. So now let's pop back into these drinks. So I do always put a disclaimer when it comes to bar service because it's always based on what's available on board on that sailing in case something sells out or doesn't, whatever happens. We've all been there. It has happened before, but all of my experiences with Norwegian lately have been really great as far as having all of the liquors I want available at most of the bars. So if you have free at sea, not free at C plus, but just free at sea, and you've bought that package, it actually really has an excellent variety of liquors. So I would say if you're a really top shelf drinker, this is going to be a big driving factor for you. But even if you're not a top shelf drinker, if you are like me and you drink Woodford or like my husband who drinks Captain Morgan, you don't necessarily need this for the drink package, but we want it because we're going to the island, because we're doing the Wi-Fi, and because we want the specialty dining in the Starbucks. So given all of the amenities, these are just kind of bonuses, if you will. You can always think of them that way if you play with the math. So your free at sea is going to include things such as Woodford, Buffalo Trace, Casamigos, Tito's, Kettle One, Hendrick's Gin. All of those are included in the regular free at sea package. If you do free at sea plus, you're going to get all those and more. So some examples, and this is not the full list because it was rather extensive, but some examples of the free at sea plus liquors that you can have access to. You have the Patron Añejo, the Don Julio Blanco, the Flor de Caña 15 years, or the Zacapa 23 years. Hennessy VS or Remy Martin VSOP or Hennessy XO if you're a cognac drinker. And then if you are a Scotch whiskey or bourbon drinker, the list is probably 14. I think it was about 14 liquors long. But some examples for you, the Glenlivet Founders, Johnny Walker Gold, Talisker 10-year, Old Forester 1897, 1910, or 1920, Whistle Pig Rye, Macallan 12-year, Johnny Walker 18-year, or Blanton Small Batch. So all of those included with 3 at C plus. If you are a wine or champagne drinker, you are looking at more premium bottles with over 50 labels to choose from. They are bringing back special brands. I I'm very excited because on Luna I have the free at C plus package, and I am going to report back about wine because as someone who loves wines like Caymus and all of those, I want to know what the actual cost is when you have this free at C plus package. So tune back in about 3.5, 4 weeks, and we'll actually break down the onboard experience for you. But you can have access to premium wines now. We're talking about good wines that you would probably be drinking at home. And the $15 off the connoisseur collection. So if you want Johnny Walker Blue, Clase Azul, Louis, I can't ever say this one right. I'm sorry. Louis the Eighth or Opus One, those are all going to have the $15 discounts for the drinks that you're getting. So if you drink the truly premium connoisseur collection, you still get a discount with this package. Do we hit all the questions about this, Julie, or should we?
We do have a few questions which I think are good. It's just from people who really aren't alcohol drinkers.
Sure.
So for those folks, yes, you can of course continue ordering your sodas, your virgin pina coladas, all those kind of things
Energy
are
drinks.
yes, all and now bottled water, now Starbucks, all those kind of things. Even if you don't drink liquor, you're going to find a lot of value in this package, depending on what you also purchase.
Hmm. Agreed. So kind of moving us into the next item here. We did the math for you, which I won't sit on here because I don't think anyone wants to stare at math all day. But let's talk about who should buy it and who should not buy it. So I think a lot of people are just wondering, is this for me? And I think the answer is if you enjoy as little as one or two of these items, then you're going to find a lot of value in this package. And that's because the gratuities are included in this package. So having those $20 per day gratuities included in that $49.99, those are $20 whether you pay them just as prepaid gratuities or $20 as you add them in the free at C plus. So having that included, let's say you have gratuities and you like Starbucks. The Starbucks is $20 a day per person. So $20 a day for Starbucks and $20 a day for gratuity, that means for basically 10 more dollars, you're getting bottled water, 50% off specialty dining, drinks on the island, the premium alcohol and bottled water and energy drinks and all of the upgraded beverage options. And then you're getting that Wi-Fi as well. So who should buy this package? Anyone who uses a minimum of one to two of these items should buy this package, and you're going to find a significant savings. If you're not even sure if you're going to buy the Wi-Fi package, you've basically already paid for it. So if you buy the Wi-Fi package at $29.99 and you pay your gratuities at 20, you've already paid for this package and now everything else is just free benefits for you. So I mean, at this point, I think I'm having a lot of conversations with clients where we have to talk a little bit more in depth. And I ask them, are you eating specialty dinner more than the allotted nights for free at sea? If the answer is yes, then this package is worth it for you. Are you using the Wi-Fi, of course? If yes, then this package is worth it for you. If you are someone who really likes the specialty dining experiences or bottled water is really important to you, then those things are also going to be yeses for you. This package is going to be for you. Who it's not for, so it's basically simple. It's not for people who are uninterested in these amenities. So if you don't care about your Wi-Fi and you are not a Starbucks drinker and you're fine with the filtered water and you're not really a big alcohol drinker, and you don't go to specialty dining, then you're not going to find a lot of value in this package. But if any of those amenities are of any interest to you and you're going to buy them regularly on your cruise, this package is going to save you money. And I think we had a question about the internet, so let's talk about that. These are Starlink internet, so it is every time I've been, I was just in Alaska last year on Norwegian. Perfect internet the entire time through. I never got disconnected once. I do the premium Wi-Fi, so I stick to that, but my husband did the regular because he just didn't need the streaming services, and his worked perfectly the whole time too. So the internet's very reliable. If you do go to certain remote places, very remote, not very many you get there, but there are a couple sailings that go down into like Antarctica, and over into the southern continents down there. So there's occasionally some itineraries where the Wi-Fi is not necessarily perfect, but they've upgraded all their ships now to Starlink, and truly I've had excellent experiences with them.
So we have a lot of questions just to kind of go over. We know that Norwegian is making a lot of changes.
Yeah.
So there has been some back and forth about Great Stirrup Cay, and we're getting a lot of comments about Great Stirrup Cay. They were supposed to start charging for drinks in March. Now they pushed it back so they won't start charging till April the 1st. So that was good news for all the spring breakers. And I think why that happened is because it was such a sudden change, and to have that sudden change happen at spring break, they were getting a lot of negative feedback on it. So they said, okay, we'll go through April 1st. They're not going to change it again for all the people who are saying, like, oh, they changed it once. They might keep including them there. That is definitely not the vibe that we're getting. This April 1st date is going to stick.
Yeah,
So,
and I think it has to do a lot too, if you think about it, with people's final payments. They made this announcement in December, and people had just made final payment on spring break. So I think they were just trying to do the right thing, that maybe they didn't anticipate the spring breakers, of course, really negatively affecting them all going to the island to have that beach experience. So they are accommodating the spring breakers who were already paid in full and giving them what they paid for. So now, as of those April 1st, I think they are going to hold true to that, because the people who are paying after that, you already know about the change when you're making your final payment.
right. Additionally, another big question, huge question, is we have quite a few people on the call who have already paid for gratuities. They've already paid
Yep.
Norwegian. So they're saying, "Oh no, what happens now? I've already paid it." The good news is if you've already paid that $20, you can now add the free at Sea Plus for just 29.99 more
29.99.
because you've already paid the 20. They're not going to keep your 20 and charge you the 49.99 on top of the 20. The 20 that you paid is going to go towards the free at Sea Plus.
Yep.
So, yes, you can absolutely make that change even if you've already paid gratuities. It's really easy. I've had already some guests do that.
Yep. You don't even have to really deal with like refunds or anything. They just apply the same funds towards the free at C plus package. So if you've already done it, it's pretty simple, couple clicks of a button. So I guess that leads us right into this as well about how to add it to your booking. Everybody at this point should qualify for it because it was sailings after March 1st when they announced it, but now it's all the sailings. So it's now going to be added to, it can be added to any booking that you currently have. So it doesn't matter if you have more at sea, it doesn't matter if you have free at sea, it doesn't matter when you're sailing. You should be able to add this as long as you're at least 4 days outside of sailing. So how do you add it? Of course, if you're booked with us, you just contact us so we can do that for you. But you would contact your travel professional or visit your NCL reservation online or call Norwegian depending on how you're booked. But all of those options are on there. So if you're tech savvy, you can actually do all of this online. You can add that package. In order to take free at Sea Plus, you do have to have that standard free at sea beverage and dining package with the fees associated with it. So you can't do one without the other. If you're going to add free at sea plus, you have to already have the free at sea beverage package and the free specialty dining nights in order to trigger those additional discounts and the upgrade to those packages. Um, this is a question. So there was literally some changes they made to Free at C Plus last week, including the ability to add it on board now. So when they first announced it, you were not able to add it on board, but now you can add it on board for additional cost. So it goes up in price if you add it on board. So the best thing you can do is add it at least 4 days before you get on board. If you can get it on there at least 4 days before you get on board, you're at the $49.99. And if you cannot do it before then and you get on board, you're going to pay $59.99 per day. So extra $10 a day per person. All guests in the cabin were supposed to have to take the package. I think that is still the case, but I think I saw someone on here who said they saw something different. Julie, have you seen anything different on that?
So, what I have seen, is this. If you are booked as two adults in a room, yes, you both have to take it. If you're booked as four adults in the room, you all have to take it. If you have minor children,
Mm,
the
yes.
children do not, minor children, I'm talking about minors, they do not have to take it, mainly because they're not drinking, they're getting a children's menu at specialty diet. So I had a family of four that recently upgraded and it was only charged to the two adults and not the children. But there is no exceptions made if you're all adults because you're all going to use the benefits of the program.
Perfect.
And you must, I mean, I know this is very confusing but you must have free at sea to upgrade to free at sea plus. If you're booked as a um sail
Sail
away
away rate,
rate,
you
then
won't be.
no, you can't upgrade to free at sea plus. And everybody on the call who's ever had free at sea, which I think is most of you, you are aware that there are those charges for the gratuities on the beverage package, mandatory, which Tawny talked about earlier in the call, and mandatory on the dining nights as well. So those stick on the booking. Like when you upgrade to free at sea plus, you do not get those waived. They still stay on the booking completely. Everything stays on the booking that is on the booking. You're just upgrading to the new package for the 49.99 per day.
Yep. So those beverage package and dining package fees, depending on how familiar you are with in Norwegian, it's gone back and forth of is it a gratuity, is it a package fee? It's gone all different ways as far as the current way that it is. They're setting up where you buy the package and it includes the gratuities with the free at sea. So with the free at sea, I can't remember exactly how much it is. I want to say it's like 20 something dollars per day per person for the drink package. Let's see, I think that was 3.99. I'll have to look that up again. Anyways, you're going to be responsible for those fees. So when you buy the free, you have to buy that free at sea package. So those fees are mandatory, and once you've purchased them, it will trigger that free at sea plus package so that you can also add that on. So best thing to do, best practices for all of you are to add it a minimum of 4 days before you get on board to get that lowest price. And don't book a sail away rate or you won't be eligible for the free at sea or free at sea plus.
Right. And then a very valid question, because it seems that some of you may be sailing with Princess in the past. So, yes, there are cruise lines that have a drink limit. Like you can only have 15 drinks a day. We all kind of know who that is. It's Princess, it's Carnival, it's Holland America. Um, that is not free at sea or free at sea plus. They don't put a limit on your drinks per day. They do put a limit on how much those drinks are per drink, as do all cruise lines, but not on how many drinks that you can have such per day. So there is no 15 drinks limit when it comes to Norwegian.
Yeah. So this person had the question if they cruise in July, the alcohol drinks at Great Stirrup Cay are not free, and that is correct. If you cruise past April 1st, which they did extend it to, then your drinks will only be included at Great Stirrup Cay if you have that package. Free at C plus, if you have free at C plus.
Right. And the shore excursion credits, they're the same. That is not getting affected at all with this new package. There's nothing about shore excursions in the free at sea plus. So it's still the $50 per port per day. That stays completely the same. So keeping in mind, if you have children in your cabin, and you have a question on if they will be charged for free at sea or not, you will have to take that up with the person that you booked with, because I can only speak for the children that I personally have been dealing with, and they've all been under 12. So please check if you have teenagers, if there is a charge for them or not. That's an easy question that can be answered once somebody's in your reservation.
Absolutely. Do
And
we have
let's
more
see.
questions we're going in? I'm going to try to find the cost of everything for free at sea really quick.
I think we've answered a lot of these questions, which is good. Um, Yes, a good question about the Wi-Fi. When you have the free at Sea Plus, it is the premium streaming Wi-Fi. It is not the basic. So currently with your free at sea, you get 150 minutes. If you decide that you want to upgrade those 150 minutes, you have two choices. You can upgrade to what they call standard or basic Wi-Fi, or you can upgrade to what they call premium or streaming Wi-Fi. I know for a fact, because I just did it on a 7-night cruise, I just paid $179 a person to upgrade to the premium streaming. So with the free at Sea Plus, it's only one choice. You're only getting the streaming Wi-Fi. You're not getting the standard basic. So that should hopefully answer that question. As far as reliability of Wi-Fi, please remember that Norwegian has upgraded to the Starlink system. I agree with Tawny that their Wi-Fi is so much better than it used to be, but also Wi-Fi isn't perfect. Even in my own home, Wi-Fi isn't perfect. Especially if you live in Florida, you know what I'm saying. We have days every day where we feel like our Wi-Fi is going on a little bit on the having a rough moment. So that being said, at sea, it's gotten so much better. I agree with Tawny. My husband's been able to watch baseball games at home. I've done Zoom meetings from Etsy, but is it perfect? Wi-Fi is never going to be perfect. Even in your home, it's not perfect. So it's not going to be perfect with this package or with the free at sea.
In here is the beverage package details, just for those who are wondering. The free at sea beverage package is 20 something dollars, $28.50 per person per day. That's going to include all of your alcohol and all of your soda. So that's the free at sea package, $28.50 per person per day. The dining package, if you come down a little bit more, here is the free at sea package price. So if it is a 2 to 4 night cruise, it is one meal for $20. If it's a 7 night cruise, let's say average 7 to 8 nights, then you're talking about 3 meals at $60 per person. So $20 per meal instead of the onboard price, which is, $60 plus gratuities on there. So you are talking about pretty limited amount here to add those beverage packages with free at sea, and then you add free at sea plus on top of that. So it's basically, again, you're layering, you're choosing what works best for you as the consumer based on what amenities you actually use. So if you are not someone who uses any of these amenities, you don't have to take any of them. You could just take the free Wi-Fi minutes, that shore excursion discount, or you can just take the dining nights if you want to, and you can choose. If you're someone who really uses at least quite a few of those or a bunch, then you're going to want to take all those packages and add that free at C Plus and save yourself about $100 a day to get all of that full bundle value out of it. We also have some special offers. Should we go to that or do we have more questions you want to hit real
We have
quick?
a really good question that I do want to bring up here, Tawny. We have a couple people now asking about Haven gratuities because Haven gratuities, for those who are not familiar with them, are $25 per person per day, not 20. So I will tell you because I did have somebody in the Haven upgrade to this package. Absolutely, it did cover those gratuities. So if you're in the Haven, if you're not
At
in
no
the
additional
Haven,
cost.
it's still going to be the same cost, the same $49.99 to upgrade to free at sea. So for those of you in the Haven, I mean, wow, you're really getting a
Do the
great deal
math, right?
because you're only paying $24.99 per person per day to go to all these benefits. So, yes, I just wanted to explain that because we're getting a lot of questions. Also, for the people who want to see the screenshots because they really want to look at the math in more detail, totally understand it. You're all going to get a copy of this webinar in your email so you can go through it much at your leisure, take pictures of whatever you need to take pictures of so that you could do some of this math.
There's a lot of comments going on. So do you want to stay and go through some of them? Wish.
I think we've answered a lot of them, but of
Oh,
course, if I
perfect.
haven't answered your question, please go ahead and type it back in the Q&A box. I'm trying to catch everybody here.
Yep. So I see a lot of people are kind of just confirming how I did the math on there. So yes, correct. So if you want the whole package, the whole free C plus, you must pay the 28.50 per bar plus the 20 for food for each meal. And then you also additionally would pay the $49.99. With that whole package, you're going to get basically every drink you want included on the entire ship unless you're drinking Connoisseurs Club. That includes your Starbucks, that includes your bottled water, that includes your sodas, energy drinks, your cocktails, everything that you're drinking, your wine, your champagnes, your beers. You're going to get unlimited streaming Wi-Fi, and you're going to get island drinks, and you're going to get 50% off the dining. So yes, you have to buy all of those packages to have that full included package, and it is still an excellent, incredible value for you if these are amenities you use. So it's really up. It's an excellent way to create a little bit more of a flexibility option for you. So if you're not a huge amenity user, you might just be covered under the free at sea. But let's say you're someone who really likes all these things included, like us, like we're going to include the Wi-Fi and we like extra dining nights and we want to do all those things. This is a really great way for us to save money and take advantage of all of those and have that fully all-inclusive experience.
And just I know these gratuities get really complicated and I even apologize for it, but there's two separate types of gratuities we're talking about here. There's the mandatory gratuities that come with your beverage package and your dining package, which are part of free at sea. You can't get rid of those gratuities. If you upgrade to
They
free at
don't
sea
even call
plus,
them gratuities anymore. They just call them fees. Like those are the beverage and dining fees.
yes. So those fees are what they are and they stay there. They're not affected either way by free at C plus. They're really not a factor. The others, what we really do call gratuities, is the gratuities that you're paying to your waiters, assistant waiters, cabin attendants, etc. That's collected at $20 per person per day.
For
So
standard cabin.
yeah, you're not paying those anyway. I know some of you are saying, "Oh, I pay gratuities anyway." No, you're paying the service charges on the beverage and dining packages anyway. Yes, but those gratuities you're not paying anyway. Those would be an additional cost at free at sea.
So if you're buying free at sea and you buy the beverage and the dining package, you're still paying 20 extra dollars a day for gratuities. So even if you pay the $28 for the beverage and you pay the 20 for the dining, that covers those. You still have those daily gratuities for the entire staff. So you're you're already paying for the beverage for those dining nights at the discounted rates and you're paying that $20. So then you're just deciding if any of those extra amenities to you are worth $30 a day. Starbucks, bottled water, drinks on the island, premium alcohols, reduced rates on specialty dining, Wi-Fi. If any of those are worth $30 a day to you and you're buying all the other stuff anyway, this package is for you.
That's right. So yes, I'm happy to see what they're saying in the chat. So they're saying
Yes,
you're
$20
$20
ahead
ahead
already.
already.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. So I mean, really, when you talk about how much you have to pay this $20 or $25 if you're in the Haven, I mean, it's pretty mandatory. So really, when you think about the fact that you have to pay that $20, you're getting all the rest of this for $29.99 because the $20 has to be paid anyway. So
Correct?
yeah, that really helps in the math, hopefully, for some of you.
All right. Well, we have some special deals. So we do have a few sailings where we have free gratuities, and because our gratuities are free, it means you still get the package for $29.99 per day. So there's more than these. Please inquire with us about the cruise that you're interested in. But these are just some examples for you that these are reduced costs. They are going to include your free gratuities. So let's say you want to go on this 9-night Japan sailing on the Jade. Our price is going to be 52.22, including gratuities. There's a 63.89, and we are going to give you the opportunity to take free at C Plus because we have free gratuities at $29.99 per person per day. So if you book any of these sailings up here at these rates, these are per person rates. These are rounded up, so some of them might be like 17.49 and 37 cents, something like that. But for our purposes, all of these rates are going to include gratuities for you. If you want to add beverage and dining package, you are then eligible to add free at C Plus for only $30 per day. I'm tired of saying 29.99, so we're just going to say 30. But essentially, these are great savings for you. So those free gratuities are back on these sailings where you're already saving $20 ahead. So once you save that $20 ahead per person per day, you're also going to be able to add that free at C Plus package for the discounted rate.
So this is a good question, Tawny. Is there a limit on how many Starbucks drinks that you can get in a day?
No, but there is on a visit. So you're allowed one per visit, and you can visit as many times as you like per day.
Yes, it's true. And I will tell you, my daughter is the perfect example. Every time I saw her, she had a new one. So there's going to be a lot of people who are taking advantage of that.
And this is why Julie's happy because she was sailing over New Year's when this package wasn't in place yet. So she did pay for the Wi-Fi package and she did pay for the Starbucks package and she had to pay for all those a la carte. And now she gets to save all this money.
So now we have some questions, some more. So yes, again about the adults. Yes, if you have multiple people in the room and they're adults, yes, everybody has to get it. So it can't be one of those things where like me, I don't drink Starbucks at all. My daughter will drink 20 in one day. I can't say, oh, she gets the package. I don't need the package. If she takes it, I have to take it if we're sharing in a room together.
But it also means everybody gets all of the amenities. So everybody gets the Wi-Fi, everybody gets the bottled water, everybody gets all the amenities.
So remember, for all of you people who have already prepaid your gratuities just because you wanted to, that money goes towards this package. So there seems to be a lot of confusion if that's lost money. I promise you it's not. It's
It
just
is
a
not.
changing of the code. It's really easy on our end to do it. So you absolutely will get credit for the money that you've already paid. So I guess I just want to make sure. Okay, great. Great question.
Oh, this is a good
Gloria.
question.
Really good question, Gloria. The bottled water will not be in your stateroom. And why this is such a great question from Gloria is because a lot of times we at Create Your Cruise, and I'm sure other agencies, we have a promo where the guests get so many bottles of water. And when you come in, it's all sitting in your room. Believe me, I had the promo and I
Just
had the
if you
bottled
buy a
water.
water package. Yeah, if you buy a water package of 24 bottles, they're just delivering it to your room and you have to go back and forth and get it every time you want something.
Right. So now do you have to do that? No, you don't have to do that anymore. Hooray. But there is a difference, which I thought was really interesting, Tawny, that you mentioned earlier about the bottled water, depending on if you get it at the bar or if you get it at the restaurant.
Hmm.
So if you get it at the bar, you could go to the bar. Can I get a bottled water? Yes, you're going to get a standard bottle of water. If you go to the restaurant, you can have your Evian, your
Your
nicer bottled waters.
Aquapana, your Pellegrinos. Yes. And both of those are included. It just depends on where you are. So if you're just at a bar around the ship, they don't carry the premium waters. But if you are at any dining restaurant and you have that free at C Plus package, they do keep the premium water. So you can have a nice bottle of Evian, Aquapana, sparkling water, San Pellegrino, etc. I see a lot of people that are realizing this is a great deal. This is making me happy because it is a
Yeah,
great deal. Like
it's
it's
a really
such a
good
good
deal.
deal.
And Kim, a great comment here from Kim. Kim, you're right. They used to sell specialty dining packages. I used to buy them all the time where you could buy like 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights, whatever. So if you were already buying those, This is a great deal for you too, because now every time you go to specialty dining over and above your free ones, you're going to get 50% off. So that's going to be an actually way cheaper price than what you were paying in the olden days with the packages. So
Yep. And packages don't exist anymore. You get what you get with free at sea. That's the only package available, and it's not a for sale package. It's just one that you add with the free at sea, or you go a la carte. Those are the only two options. So you have your included nights with free at sea or a la carte pricing. And I put it back on the screen. Kathy, I saw that you asked about these. So these are some of them. We just listed a few examples here for you. We can't list them all because it's not every single sailing, but it's a rather extensive list that we do have. So if you're following our emails, you'll want to pay attention. Next week, we'll be sending out a lot of Norwegian advertisements with the free at sea plus and free gratuities on these select sailings. And in addition, we will also be sending out a recorded copy of this to everybody who attended or registered for it so that you can go back, you can read it again, you can look at that math again. And honestly, if you're still not sure, then all you need to do is give us a call. We will be glad to help you. Keep in mind, if you're not booked with Create Your Cruise, we do not have access to your reservations. So you do need to be booked with our agency for us to make any changes or edit your reservations. But even if you just have basic questions and you need assistance, we are here to help you. Our team is excellent. We have all been in the cruise industry for over a decade each. So it's a really great team over here to help you plan your cruises and keep you in top of all of these great savings opportunities. Are we still
So
coming?
this is actually a really good question from John as well. So thank you, John. So if you do have um sorry, Michelle. If you do have more, like let's just say you do have three adults in the room, you are absolutely right, Michelle. The third person does not get free specialty dining. It's only the first two in the room with free at sea. So that is a huge benefit for that adult person to have the free at sea plus. Of course, all three of you have to take it, but it is a good that does help out there because I'm sure the third person isn't eating alone for 3 nights. I mean,
Right. They're
yeah.
gonna they're gonna buy it. So they get 50% off with this.
So remember how to contact us. Obviously, you can reply to the email that you're going to get about this webinar. You see our website up here, createyourcruise.com. I don't know, Tani, if you have a slide with our phone number. We do have a couple people
It's on
asking.
here right here at the bottom, actually, and I will just pop over to this one right here.
Perfect. Because we have a couple people asking about these particular sailings and other sailings. And of course, we're happy to price them based on whatever category you may wish, which a few people are asking about as well. And I think we have one last question. I just need to look at it here.
Somebody had a question about the pricing, and I think I'd like to review it with everyone real quick.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
so let's look at this, Jade. So 5222. This price includes your cruise fare and your free gratuities. So that includes your gratuities. It does not include your beverage and your dining package fees from Free at Sea. So if you book it at 5222 per person, you have the option of adding the beverage and dining and adding Free at Sea Plus for only $29.99 per person per day. But you cannot pay 5222 per person and add just $29.99 per person per day because remember, the beverage and dining package fees from Free at Sea are mandatory to have Free at Sea Plus. So if you don't want Free at Sea Plus, you can just book them for $52.22 per person and have your free gratuities, which are $20 per person per day. Still a substantial great savings for you. But if you're going to use those amenities, you just have to add that beverage and dining package, and then you can add Free at Sea for the discounted $29.99.
Yeah, and what's exciting, Tani, is I didn't know that you had the brand new Aura on here.
Yes, we have our
Yeah.
rates with free gratuities.
That's amazing. And I don't know if everybody's seen that ship yet, but wow, she is going to be a game changer.
She's actually the picture in the background, which someone just asked us. So that is Aura in the background. She is not built yet, so she's not going to come out until 2027. So these will be some of her first sailings in 2027. But she is available. We have great rates on her, and really excited because Aqua and Luna had a lot, but they're saying Aura is going to be an absolute game changer.
Right. And a lot of people are asking what category these prices are based on, Tani. Um,
Balcony. These
balcony.
are
Perfect.
balcony
I thought the
prices.
answer was balcony, but wanted to double check. So yes, for the persons who are asking that, these are balcony prices. And I have to tell you, I am guilty. I already booked the Aura on that Christmas sailing. It is just too good to pass up.
Yeah, but I know I love it. We're doing, so Julie and I will be on the 3 nights Luna sailing, which is they call them like preview sailings. They're invitations to come explore the ship, but I loved it so much I booked the 4 days as well. So I'm gonna stay on her for a whole week.
Great. Well, I love all the interaction. Thank you, everybody, for your questions and comments. I hope I kept up with everything, and I hope you have a much better understanding of this new program.
Yeah, hopefully it saves you all a lot of money. And again, contact us if you need anything. We're here to help you. And thank you again for spending time with us this evening.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.